Look at all these people, man. I've seen this many since I was at the U2 concert last night. Yeah. And if you were there, you would have saw these guys opening up for them.
We're from San Francisco. We're going to do our whole hour set in 35 minutes. Sure. So, you best check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Shrimp. Yes!
I stepped into a life on a Pullman Saturday. Oh, where you going, where have you been? And she said, I lived a rough life, and it ain't someone to hold me tight. Not for hours, but for years. And we sing, lovely, lovely, lonely nights.
I think this whole punk thing started way back when I was getting into playing music, and with my first project, back in the thrash days of San Francisco. I think all along, I listened to punk like way back, like GBH, The Exploded, Discharge, Dead Kennedys, which is kind of weird because most of my punk influences are British punk bands. Like GBH is probably like my most favorite punk band, but like now it's like we're playing this new West Coast, whatever we want to call it, sound, and it's got a lot of this British influence. It used to be crazy because it used to be like all the rockers and thrashers on one side of the street, and on the other side of the street was just this hardcore punk rock hangout called the Mab. And it was like every time we played the Stone, I would always just get off stage, pack my crap up, and go to the Mab because I wanted to hang out and watch punk bands. You know, the project we were doing was taking off. Not that I didn't like being in it. I totally loved it and I enjoyed what I was doing, but there was always that fantasy in the back of my mind, like, oh, a punk band would be cool to be in, blah, blah, blah.
Different, so different, it makes a difference.
I met Dennis in a hobby shop where I used to work. I started working at a very young age, and he came in, and I recognized him because he used to play in a band that I really hated.
This is how I met Mike. I wanted to buy a damn remote control car, and I went to this hobby shop in San Francisco.
I didn't know if I wanted to, like, what's the word, stroke his ego or whatever, but I didn't let him know that he was from that band, so I just always ignored him.
And this kid starts freaking out, like, oh, are you in that thing? Oh, are you in this band, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah.
I mean, he kept coming in and stuff to buy stuff, and he wrote a check out, and it said Dennis Pepa, and...
The next time I go down there, he just, like, starts giving me all this free stuff and not charging me for, like, all this remote control hobby stuff.
And we started talking and we became friends.
Mrs. Well, yeah, make me take me on today, put on the time.
Now, Larry, my boy,
he's got a cool aura about him. The guy's like totally honest. He's like mellow.
I think what we looked for in a musician was not only can the person play, but does he know what he's playing.
Dennis Pepa, guitar and vocals. Andy Galeon, drummer and vocals. Mike Percali, guitar and vocals. Larry Santiago, bass, vocals, aerial maneuvers, trampoline, ground work.
In my other projects, I was just the bass player. It's a lot different because Larry's not just a bass player. On top of being a bass player, he's a producer and he's an engineer. Thank you, thank God. So he adds like 110% more. Right. Not just because he's a big guy.
I met Michael Procali the day I met you, the camera lady, at the very infamous Channel 8 Green Room anniversary episode, New Year's, hosted by the lovely, what is that chick's name?
Hi, welcome to the Green Room. I'm Haley.
A couple of days before that is when I heard that Big Shrimp was forming, and they had asked the drummer in my band at that time to try out for him, jam with him, all that stuff. And so that's where I first met Mike, like really met him face to face and got to see him, and he was kind of, no, he wasn't mellow that night. He was loud then, he's louder now.
The guy should be endorsed by Energizer batteries instead of like a guitar company.
Dennis, first time I actually met Dennis, although he will not lay claim to this, is in front of his house, and he was on break from tour. He was polishing his Harley Davidson, listening to Aerosmith Pump in front of his house. And he probably took that demo tape I gave him and threw it in his garbage can shortly thereafter.
Oh. He kicks ass. He's honed his bass playing skills a lot, and I think, like, within a couple more years, he's just going to be phenomenal. And I think he's, like, kick ass right now, but, you know, it just, he needs to get out on the road and see what it's like to play 20 shows in a row and, like, have blisters on your fingers.
We're backstage now with Big Shrimp. Incredible set that they just performed. Let's start. Yeah, I would agree. We wanted to start here on the stage, talking with the band and finding out who's in the band. So if we could start by finding out who the bass player is.
My name is Larry Santiago. My name is Mike Fricali. Guitar. Because I'm a guitar vocalist.
My name is Dennis Pepa. Sing play with my 6th string.
Andy Galeon, play drums.
I heard there was a rumor, and I don't know if you want it told, that someone plays accordion in the band, or at one time did.
Mike does.
Mike does?
Mike.
Have some time and he can actually get into it a little and we can incorporate it.
Excellent.
It'd be kind of cool to come out there, start the whole set with some brown guy going.
I'm Julie Tollison.
And I'm Joe McCaffrey, and welcome to Soundwaves, your weekly guide to what's hot and happening in the world of music.
And we are standing outside of Boomerang tonight on Haight Street, the beautiful, illustrious Haight Street.
Hold on a second. What did you want to say?
You've known Julie for a while, right?
I've known Julie since high school.
Expand on that phrase. Big Shrimp's going to be playing along with Discolored and a couple other bands, so it should be pretty exciting, and we'll have some interviews with them a little bit later on.
It's also at the Blockbuster in Daly City.
It's at the Blockbuster in Daly City. It's in San Francisco.
In Ceremony, California. Julie's at the Blockbuster in Ceremony.
The tape is.
That's right, and we got lots of band members hanging around. We got homeless people, a lot of dogs, some drug deals going on.
Julie Tollison, dear friend of mine from high school, hosts this show, and I think she has a couple of fans, so I hear. So, anyway, anything else?
I can't even get her autograph. She looked at me, man.
Okay, we got to wrap up here. It's getting really scary.
Going to a studio and recording, to me, is almost like a ritual. Every time I've done like an album, regardless with what band it was in. Usually it goes hand in hand with like just taking those certain days of recording the music and just making it a whole adventure and changing your lifestyle just for that.
I feel real fortunate that I'm jamming out with these guys because 2 of them have done like 5 albums already, and one of them has done many demos and recorded, and he's even done an album. And me, I can, you know, I'm proud to say that this is my first band.
This was very, I keep using that word punk, it was very punk. It was totally against the normal grain of recording, you know. I mean, my house is like the stiffest house. My parents, I live with a grandmother, and we have really restrictive laws here in the house, and for me to bring a loud, rowdy band in here for 4 days and just take over was, you know, very exciting, and at the same time kind of stressful because I had to deal with parents at this ripe old age.
I think everybody had the attitude of, you know, we should totally vibe off each other, not just as we're recording, but as these 4 days go by, we should just totally hang out and just catch that vibe, not just with recording.
You know, to have to produce or engineer this whole big fun game was very exciting and stressful. Something about saying I made this in my house with, you know, under our rules, under our terms. We worked when we wanted to work, and nobody gave that to us but ourselves, you know. That's one thing I'm really proud of, is this band and the people in it, including myself, could have went a million other ways about doing this, and we decided to go the totally lo-fi underground way, and it turned out to work for our benefit so far.
I feel really strong about my performance in the studio, just because, I mean, I have the guys, you know, they got my back kind of thing. We all help each other along, you know. I think a lot of it has to do with us practicing so much. We practice like it's a work schedule, you know. I'm here, I have my 9-to-5 job, and I come here to work on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 10, and on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're at practice, and I think that has a lot to do with us being able to knock out this recording